We're up to Pasuk Chov Dalet. Chapter 20, verse 24.
I think it was Matt's turn.
Yeah.
I think it's Matt's turn.
Shlomo's also. I'm going to give Shlomo a turn.
We didn't finish it, did we? No pen.
Yeah, underneath.
Okay.
This container
We're
here.
discussing the story so
pens.
far.
There's
That
6,000.
the Jewish people came to Har HaHor, which is double mountain on top of the mountain.
Amen.
Okay, by the border of Edom. Okay, that's a Chov Dalet. Yosef.
Yosef Aaron El Amar Kilo Yavo El Haaretz Asher Natati L'Bnei Yisrael Asher Ritam Eti Lemei Meriba. Okay, and Aaron gathered.
Let Aaron be gathered.
Let Aaron be gathered to his people.
Shall be gathered to
Okay,
his people.
shall
Shall
be
not
gathered
let
to his
Aaron.
people.
Aaron shall be gathered to his people.
And that because he won't be going into the land that I gave the people of Israel, because of the rebellion, you rebelled at the mouth.
No, so to speak, you rebelled, literally means against my word.
Against my word in the waters of rebellion.
Or contention. In the waters of contention. Okay? No Rashi on that.
What verse is it? 20?
24.
Oh.
Well, we just read 24. Now
So
continue 25.
Aaron did get blamed.
Yeah, so the question is, what was Aaron to blame? Because the mindset, the truth is, he was supposed to speak to the rock together with Moshe.
Surely, there's only one person to speak.
1 second, the Pasuk says.
We're saying unison.
Very back.
Saying unison.
What?
Is it?
Some say, some of us know they should have spoken together.
Oh, God.
Meaning,
Crazy.
That's why it didn't at first.
they should have been discussing
Sure.
Torah with each other.
God was looking for an excuse. Come on, give me
Yeah,
a break.
come on. Oh, dear, we're not stupid. We're grown-up
Oh, come
people
on.
here.
no, we're not.
No, sorry.
So we close the books.
No, your version, what you
No,
think.
he's leaving. Don't leave.
Oh, don't leave. We were defending our...
No.
we're-
What?
we're unbelievers,
What
so
are
we-
you defending? What you're sitting on? No. The thing is that we never had that
It says, I'm just referring you back. I'll read the verse. Pasuk Ches says, Kaches Amata, take the staff, v'hakel es oeda, and congregate the community. Ata, you, v'Aaron Achicha, and your brother Aaron, v'dibatem.
Ah!
Whoa!
That's the first time I've ever heard that before. No, not here. But in any time they had to do a miracle that you'd have to.
No,
You know,
no,
to speak- we have to speak.
The Mephoshim discussed this point, that this was a miracle which was required that they should speak to the rock, not just do some action.
Very good. I've never heard that. Very good. Yeah.
Because the Mephoshim discussed it, that the level of miracle that was going to happen over here was dafka an idea of speaking.
Right.
Okay, now Rashi hints.
No, but the thing is, why both of them in unison?
Yeah.
It wasn't in unison.
Why was it unison or not unison? Why both of them?
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
That's a good point.
So why didn't Rashi? Or why didn't anyone say about it? We're just simple people. We notice that.
First of all, Rashi does say that.
We've already been through you.
Yaakov, were you here yesterday?
No, that's why I know.
Oh,
I missed the kid. Sorry. You weren't here.
No.
Matt was here. Matt, can you not sit? Can we see if we're listening? What did he say?
I can't even see
Come on, not
that.
hearing your
Rashi,
opinion.
I refer you back to
Hey, Matt.
Rashi. Excuse me. Order, gentlemen.
Order,
please.
court.
Order.
In the court.
Yeah, Yud base. Possibly Yud base.
Okay,
Right?
we're going back.
Lahakti sheni.
Wait.
Possibly Yud base. Right? I'm just saying the Rashi.
Oh gosh.
It says the reason why you're being punished, right? Because because you didn't believe in me. Lahakti sheni, to sanctify me le'nei bnei Yisrael. Rashi says, "Lahakti sheni she'ilu dibartem el
Oh,
haselah." Had you spoken to the seller, v'hoitzi, and thereby produced water, hayisi mekudesh le'eni ha'eda, would have been sanctified before the eyes of the Eidah. V'oimrim, and they would have said, and this is the idea what Moshe Rashi is saying, the message which would have gotten to the Jewish people had Moshe Rabbeinu spoken to the rock and then it produced water, would have been a far greater message to the Jewish people than resulted in the fact when he hit. Why? They would have said, if already this rock, which is literally as dumb as a rock, okay? Right? It can't speak and it can't hear. It doesn't need any sustenance whatsoever. It doesn't need any. Nevertheless, it fulfills the word of Hashem. For sure we have to internalize this message that we're
humans, we can
speak. We have the power, we have intelligence, we can hear, we can speak, right? And we require sustenance, in other words, we require Kosh Baruch Hu's providing for us, then for sure we have to listen to the word of Hashem.
What?
I like the color. Oh man, that's nice, isn't it?
Alright? This is what Rashi says, this is the message which should have gotten through. And by hitting the rock, I don't know about using the term, but in the way they blew it.
Well, because if you
that message wasn't gotten across.
Then you get the people to do anything, you got to keep on hitting them. Therefore, the slaves, and how can they go into the land and under that umbrella of being a slave? They won't do anything unless you hit them.
You're taking it a little bit further.
Yeah,
that's the point.
Can I say something about what he just said?
Yes.
This may be a little bit further, but is it maybe, if speech would have been sanctified then properly, we wouldn't have to use force to get what we want nowadays and communicate with other people?
I would say even more. We wouldn't have needed force to conquer the land of Israel. Right?
So, can you miss again? What was the reason for the two of them saying it to?
Why both of them? I don't know.
Well, it doesn't occur to you. Doesn't it occur to you? Of all the miracles that both of them had done, they didn't do it together. They did it independently. For them to use, it's worth querying it, isn't it? Because I read the reason why he was punished was because he was at present when this thing was. He was like connected. When somebody does a sin, if you're next to it, maybe you're connected as part of that sin. Not because you didn't speak out and stop him.
No, see, according to the way Rashi learns, and it could be, it wasn't a punishment per se, but the fact was, Lamaisa, he did not fulfill was, had Moshe not hit the rock, there would have been still an opportunity for Aaron, together with Moshe, to speak to the rock.
Yeah, you're not doing
but once Moshe hit the rock, Aaron couldn't really stop that, right? But Lamaisa, he'd blown it because Lamaisa couldn't speak anymore. Once the water had come out, by hitting the rock, which was really Moshe's responsibility.
Right.
But nevertheless, the opportunity now to speak to the rock was gone.
Yeah.
Right.
And therefore, as you say, like, give an example. Sometimes, something.
You seem to be wrong, and it's not done.
I'll give an example. Maybe it's a very simple example, right? That a guy says, whatever, guy wants to buy a lottery ticket to win the raffle, right? So, whatever, he tries everything and he misses the bus and he's got to go there and to go to buy the ticket, and he finally comes there. Well, I don't know what time it closes, 8 o'clock or whatever, and he comes there 2 minutes after 8 and the guy's already closed. He didn't buy his lottery ticket.
Oh.
Right? And whatever, and he didn't win the lottery. So we're going to say, oh, okay, well, what do you mean? Okay, you didn't. So you say, listen, I so much wanted to, and I really think, I'm sure if I bought the right ticket, I would have won the lottery.
In other words,
but you didn't buy a ticket. What are you going to do? You didn't have a ticket.
He took himself out of the game. That was the word.
Right, that's what
you're saying, right? By hitting the rock, you foreclose
the possibility of
He
speaking.
should have said,
No, but it happens to be that Aaron, even though technically he wasn't responsible for necessarily hitting the rock, because Moshe
he should have said, you're not
But the
it's
Maisa-
me."
which gives us even more information. Like if a father and a son have a problem, it's better off to talk it out. Once you hit the kid or something like that, then you foreclose communications. That means to get to do something, you got to hit him more and more, and then he'll hate you, and he'll never listen to you again.
You've got to think about it before you hit your children. You've got to think
Well,
of it next
as an
day.
example.
Oh, right.
No, but the
Finding a flaw. Finding a flaw.
the main idea was that
Finding a flaw.
by hitting the rock, right, Moshe Rabbeinu showed that Kosh Baruch Hu can do anything.
Yeah.
Okay? But this Kal V'chomer, which Rashi says, that message didn't come through. And that's the whole point of the thing.
But also, what brought up upon it is because maybe he should have stopped him. He could see he was getting angry with the crowd because of being rebellious, no? So he made a mistake in his anger.
Oh,
so that's also a part of the reason
Yeah, so
why.
you're right.
I'm sure you
was-
forgot to speak.
We mentioned this as well.
Didn't say that.
Yaakov, I don't think you were here at the time, but we mentioned this point, is that Moshe did speak to the rock, but the wrong one. And after having spoken to the wrong one, he thought, oh, well, what am I supposed to do now?
Yeah.
And he made a mistake in his judgment and thinking, well, I've got to hit the rock now, because why? HaKodesh Baruch Hu told me to take the staff, speak to the rock, I've spoken to the rock, and it didn't work, so I must hit it now. But because he was not, shall we say, fully cool, calm and collected,
Yeah.
he had gotten angry with the Jewish people,
Yeah.
right? That, in a way,
Led to.
his balance of judgment was not 100%.
That's right.
But you can imagine. Put yourself
I know.
in that
Moshe Rabbeinu is a-
position. Okay, even a guy like that. You speak to this rock, didn't work, and people.
Yeah, but that's why.
And you say, I'll speak to that rock. I mean, people would have fallen on their faces laughing at the guy. He's an idiot. But God told me, God, are you out of your mind?
He did it Shem Shemayim, but he did.
I mean, think
it
about
wasn't
that.
cool and
You're oversimplifying things, but there is something to what you're saying, but you're oversimplifying it. The Message says the Jewish people had.
We are simple men.
Why did Moshe Rabbeinu turn around them and say, Shimu Na'amolim, listen here, you rebels and all, you
Dumbheads.
not dumbheads. No, I didn't mean that.
Rebel rousers.
Rebel
You're
rousers.
trying, not
Sorry.
rebels.
Oh,
You're trying
Help me
to
out.
teach your teachers. Means you think you know better. Because what was the Jewish people's taina? Similar to what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
It says, what difference does it make which rock, right? It's HaKodesh Baruch Hu doing anything, right? So go and hit any rock. That was their taina. That was their thing. Speak to any rock. When you're looking dafka, you spoke to one rock and it didn't work, so you're looking for the right rock. What difference does it make, right? That was their Jewish people's taina. So that's what got Moshe Rabbeinu upset. He said, how can you say such a thing? Moshe Rabbeinu got upset. I can say such a thing. HaKodesh Baruch Hu told me to speak to a specific rock, right? You can't go and change very well. So therefore, that got him upset. And therefore, he didn't hit the rock out of anger. He thought, now, well, listen, there's a specific rock, and Moshe made a mistake, which rock it was. So he made a mistake, and he thought, okay, you know what, that means I must hit this rock. Moshe was out to go for a specific rock. The Jewish people were saying, it doesn't make a difference which rock you hit.
If
Moshe
God's
Rabbeinu was
going to
asking
give us
them,
water,
no.
okay, I understand. If God is just going to give us water, it can be from any rock.
That's what the Jewish people told
That God wouldn't.
That's what the Jewish people did. And Moshe Rabbeinu said, no, you're wrong. HaKodesh Baruch Hu told me to speak to a specific rock.
Which goes back to the idea all rocks are the same, and that all people are holy, and that, we're getting back into that explanation again. Yes! No?
That's Radak.
Possibly.
So the motion talks to that.
Wait, don't say anything. No,
It's a good try, but
I think Radak says that.
Yes?
It's been Radak.
Really? I'm a redact? I mean redacted? No, excuse me.
Redactor is the editor, no?
No.
In German.
I heard when you redact something, you cross a lot of stuff out.
Yeah, that's
And
because it comes from
here
editing.
it is. And you can't understand it now.
It comes from the Germanate who means to edit.
That, yep, edit. Okay, I know.
Anyway,
edit. Okay.
let's let go off the subject. This was Moshe Rabbeinu's thing. So there was an element, I say, a small slight element of misjudgment on Moshe Rabbeinu's part, and therefore that led him, instead of speaking to possibly another rock, making him think maybe mistaken which rock it was and speaking to another rock, Moshe Rabbeinu hit that rock which he'd originally spoken to.
Yeah.
Well, his intention was. The Maisi ended up hitting the right rock. That's what Rashi says.
Well, why did he talk to? Why did he speak to another rock?
What?
Why?
No, because Moshe understood, and he thought he was speaking to the right rock. He couldn't understand why the right rock wasn't responding. So he says, obviously, when Hashem told me to speak, it meant speak. Why did he tell me to take the staff? It means speak and hit. That's how the Mefarshim explain Rashi. Speak to the rock and hit the rock as well. So that's what Moshe Rabbeinu did. But his mistake was that he and this was the Kal V'chomer, this was the Rashi saying over here, Hashem should have been sanctified in the fact that only by speaking, this is what's going to make the rock produce water. And it didn't occur to Moshe, maybe he's got the wrong rock, and therefore that was his mistake. The whole idea, this message was supposed to be going to over Jewish people. Now, why over here should there have dafka been a mess of speaking and not hitting the rock? It was because there's another very important point over here. What's this Kal V'chomer telling us? It's getting a message to the Jewish people. Whatever Hashem tells you, you've got to listen. You've got to accept the word of Hashem, just like the rock accepts the word of Hashem.
Every word.
You've got to be as dumb as a rock. Right?
When it comes to accepting the word.
When the word of Hashem. No questions asked, no calculations, no questions asked.
Interpretations.
Hence the juxtaposition, this is going a little bit further, juxtaposition to Torah Aduma.
Right.
Is the classic statute, the choik.
Gotta believe.
Gotta believe, whether you understand or not.
Okay.
And why was this specifically over here? Because they were now going to Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael, you don't live, living in Eretz Yisrael does not happen naturally. You can't say, well, I told you this. I was once at a Shiva house a number of years ago, and a few Anglos were discussing there, whatever. He says, and one guy pipes up and he says, Eretz Yisrael is gewaldig for everything except for making a living. So I couldn't hold myself up. He says, you know why? He says, because you in Eretz Yisrael don't need to make a living. You are living! Right? You don't need to make a living.
You're still not making a living.
Oh, wow, that's a nice play on words.
Anyway, no, but I'm saying the point was...
It's already made for you, man. Just
Hey, whose side are you on?
The point is, what we call making a living, meaning, well, I've got a job, a 9 to 5, and I'm going to have enough to live on and everything. That system works outside Eretz Yisrael. In Eretz Yisrael, we're a little bit higher than that. I'm not saying necessarily, okay, you just sit down and fold your arms.
Got to pay your bills.
Right, you have to pay your bills, but you see the way HaKodesh Baruch Hu acts with us and treats us in Eretz Yisrael is a special hashgacha, special protection, special supervision. And now the Jewish people going to Eretz Yisrael, they think, don't question what HaKodesh Baruch Hu says. HaKodesh Baruch Hu says, go, and this was the sin of the spies, don't forget. The sin of the spies was, well, we've got to see, are we strong enough to conquer them? Have we got enough strategy? Have we got enough soldiers or whatever? No. We come to Eretz Yisrael, because Eretz Yisrael is a super land. Okay? Super land, right? HaKodesh Baruch Hu is taking care of us. If we have full, absolute reliance on HaKodesh Baruch Hu, we will be successfully conquer the land and we'll be happy in the land. HaKodesh Baruch Hu will take care of us. We start making cheshbonis, our own cheshbonis. Well, we have panosa, we will not have panosa. We'll be able to conquer the people. Not conquer the people. Oh, haven't got your full trust in HaKodesh Baruch Hu. You're not going to make it.
Eretz Yisrael is not governed by muzzles.
Sorry?
Eretz Yisrael is not governed by muzzles. It's governed by muzzle.
Yeah, so it says, it's a pasuk later on in Parshas Eikev. Right? HaKodesh Baruch Hu has a special supervision over Eretz Yisrael. Okay? And we see by rain, for instance. Right?
That's true.
Right? Rain in most countries of the world, they have a proper, occasions of drought or whatever in certain places, but
normal weather.
There's not this 1 year, 1 day this, 1 day that, 1 year this, 1 month this, 1 month that, you know. Eretz Yisrael gets its rain through prayer, through tefillah. Just like it says in Parshas Bereishis, that Adam Arishon, it didn't rain till Adam Arishon prayed to HaKodesh Baruch Hu it should rain. That situation applies when we're in Eretz Yisrael.
When it rains here, it rains.
Okay? You know what? I'll tell you another thing. When it rains here, it shows who's raining.
Very nice.
What was
Okay, good one.
You really scoring today.
Okay.
I like that little
Okay, let's continue.
Okay.
It's also
Okay, Pasuk Chavav, Chav Hey, did we do the Rashi? Yeah, no, we were up to Pasuk Chav Hey, we didn't get very far. Shlomo. Kach es Aaron es Elazar benoi.
Okay, we turn, wait a minute.
What number is it?
Pasuk 25. That's 25.
Okay.
No.
Take care of the leisure. No?
25.
Kach,
Chak et ha'aron v'yed Lazar beno ha'am otam hor hahar. Take Aaron and Elazar, his son, and go up with them to the mountain.
take them up.
Take them up to the mountain.
To the double mountain. Okay, says Rashi. Kach es Aaron. Yeah, you have it on the previous page. Kach es Aaron.
Take Aaron.
No, Rashi doesn't mean he's going to explain, not physically, it means you persuade him to come with you. B'divrei Nechumi.
Okay, good. Chak Aaron. B'divrei Nechumim emorlo.
B'divrei Nechumi, period. And Marlo, say to him,
B'divrei, in the words of comfort, say to him, Ashrecha she'tar'ah
Tir'eh,
Tiklecha natun mam she'en ani zakai
Lekach.
So
Ashrecha.
it says
Say to
it's fortunate you are fortunate.
Right. Actually, it means you are praised, right?
That you see your the crown.
Your crown.
It will be given to your son, and what just as
No, Masha'ein ani zakalaka, which I am not.
which I am not. Moshe.
I'm not. Moshe is saying I did not merit that. Meaning that I did not merit that my son should take over my position, because Yeshua was going to take over, right?
Right.
So, but Aaron, you should feel praised and fortunate, as you said, right? That you see that your son is taking over your position. Okay? So we have the shoes now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll stop there.
Thank you.
Thank you.